Welcome to a cozy Saturday morning here in our home. It is November 30th, the last day of November. Tomorrow is December 1st. Can't even believe it. This is a Lovely Yarn podcast, and my name is Amber, and today I'm going to be talking about a lot of Christmas, a lot of holiday stuff, knitting, crafting, other things. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a project catch-up. For those of you who have watched me in the past, you will notice that I am in a different location. I'm actually out in our living area. We put our Christmas tree up yesterday, and I am home alone this morning. I am the only one here, so I thought it would be appropriate to come out and film my Christmas episode in front of the Christmas tree. So yes, change of scenery. So today's episode, I plan on talking about I'm going to do a quick project catch up on my current projects that I'm working on. And then I'm going to talk about my December knitting plans. I want to talk about Vlogmas a little bit. I want to talk about some Christmas knits that have kind of caught my eye. And by knits, Christmas knits, I mean little things like ornaments, stockings, tree skirts, those kind of things, not sweaters. These are more like home decor items. And then I'm going to announce the giveaway winner to this scrappy episode. That's going to be at the very end. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm wearing my new microphone. So hopefully this is turning out okay. Last time I bought a microphone, oh gosh, I had so many problems with it. So I'm hoping that this turns out a little bit better than my past experiences with microphones. Oh, and also so what I'm wearing, this is like a slip over or a vest. And I did not knit this. I have worn this various times on previous podcasts, and every time I wear it, I get questions about it. And so I needed to say up front, I did not wear this. I bought this 2 or 3 winters ago at TJ Maxx. I haven't seen anything like this. I mean, I don't really go to TJ Maxx a lot, but it's not handmade by me, although it would have been very easy to make. But I saw it there and I liked it. And it's perfect amount of warmth because it warms my core but leaves my arms for some ventilation. So yes, not hand knitted. I just wanted to let you know up front. Okay, so let's do a quick project update. I have only one thing that I've finished since I last spoke with you guys in a regular episode, and that is a pair of socks. These are my Colorwork socks from the August design from Summerly Knits Year of Socks Club that I joined. And I have them finished. Last time I showed these, they were a work in progress. This is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the Farmhouse Heather. And this one is, golly, I can't remember. It's just like a coral color yarn, Nature's Palette. Yeah, Nature's Palette fingering. It is just a merino yarn, but because it's just in the cuff, it doesn't matter. So when I last spoke about this, I said that I had some problem getting the first sock up over my heel, even though I went up the needle size and the color work, and I was really trying to be careful about my tension, but it was still really tight to get over my heel. So when I knit my second sock, I caught my floats. I caught more of my floats, which maybe that does not make sense to do that. But in my mind, it would, because then I'd have less longer strands, which is what the problem is, I think. So if you even look at the inside of my knitting, this is my first one. You can kind of see the patterning. In my second one, because I caught more of my floats, you cannot see it as clearly. And because I caught my floats, there were less strands of yarn to have tension on when I was pulling it up over my heel. So that works for me. Definitely will be doing that in the future, catching my floats more. And honestly, there was only I'm trying to remember now. There were a few places like in here, in between like this and this. There were a few places that you would have had to catch your floats anyway. But even in the places where I only had 5 stitches in between the Colorwork sections, I still caught my floats between those, and it worked. So that is how I will remedy that in the future. So that's all I'm going to say about those. Next thing that I wanted to talk about is, oh, phooey, I forgot to grab it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I feel like I always forget to say this in the beginning of my videos, but everything I talk about will be linked down below to like the pattern page on Ravelry. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is my Tekla sweater, which is a pattern by Claudia Quintanilla from her book Memory Lane, which was recently released this fall. So I'm actually going to frog this. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm just not happy with it. I'm not happy with it. The sleeve has, I told you on my last episode that doing the short rows plus the lace on the cap of the sleeve was quite a challenge. I thought maybe it was just me, but I think maybe it's just the way the pattern's written. I don't know that for certain though, so I don't want to deter anybody from buying the book, but it was just a very unpleasant knitting experience for me, and I'm fudging my way through the sleeve. I'm basically doing it, I'm just basically placing the lace motifs because I couldn't get them to line up like the pattern said they should. I don't know what happened. I think it was just I didn't understand the pattern. But, and if you're watching this for the first time, I ripped the sleeve out so many times, so it wasn't for lack of trying. But basically, I was just like, no, when I knit, I want to enjoy what I'm knitting. So I'm actually ripping this whole thing out. I think I had mentioned before that I thought about just keeping the vest, like ripping the sleeve out. And I tried it on as just the vest, which I'm going to consider that again, to be honest. But I don't think that I'm going to wear it that often if I just wear it as a vest, because it's the color mainly. I love this color. I would love to have a full sweater. And this color, so it's a fingering weight. This is by Jody Flower Hill Fleeces. And it's a one-of-a-kind color that she no longer, well, she can't replicate it. She doesn't have notes on it. And then this is Drops Air Silk Mohair, or Kid Silk. Again, colors, everything will be in the description below this video, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I could try to figure out how to, no, that won't work. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Forget what I was even thinking there. I don't know. Before I rip the body out, I'm going to rip the sleeve out and see how I feel about wearing this as the vest. It fits well as a vest, so that's not the issue. The issue is more like, I literally, when I went through my closet, could only find one thing that I thought, oh yeah, I would wear this over. And so I love this yarn too much. I love this color. The original plan for this yarn combo was to be a ranunculus, which I have knit many ranunculi, and I really like that pattern. And so if I end up ripping this out, that's probably what I will do with this yarn. But it's okay. This is what happens in knitting. And I've been a knitter long enough to know that if I don't love the project, so if I think I'm going to love it when it's done completely, I will persevere through the difficulty. But if I'm questioning my love of the garment, I'm not gonna persevere. And so that is my experience with that. So it's being frogged sometime in January. I'm not going to worry about it during the month of December. I'm just going to focus on fun, happy, festive things during the month of December. Okay, and then my next thing I want to show is I just got to show this project bag. This is by Olivia of This Handmade Life. I have so many of her project bags. She is one of my favorite project bag makers, and she did a shop update back earlier in the month. Yeah, she's done several Christmas shop updates, but I saw this and I bought it because I love it so much. And I don't have this style of bag as far as like this boxier shape. I don't know if she has any of these left on her online shop. Maybe she does like non-Christmas ones, but I'm not sure about the Christmas ones. So you'd have to check that out. Okay, this next pair of this next project is a pair of socks I'm making for my daughter's boyfriend. And I'm cruising right along. So my plan was to get done all of my Christmas sock knitting before December, but that's not going to happen, but it's okay. And I'll tell you why, because I got distracted by a different project that I cast on. But I have one sock finished, and the second one is not too far behind. I'm losing stitches there. Yeah, so it's not too far behind. And this yarn is, oh gosh, do I have the tag? I don't. Where's the tag? That's unfortunate. I've talked about it before, so I will put it down in the description. PK Yarns, I think, or something like that. And then I'm holding this is a mini from Jody Flower Hill Fleeces that I'm using for the cuffs. The cuff here, the toe, and then for the heel, this is a Knit Picks Hawthorne that I've had for a long time. Yeah. This yarn is this is beautiful yarn. I'm slightly concerned though, because it's a very soft, luxurious feeling sock yarn. And I am not sure how it will hold up. And it's going to an 18-year-old young man. But I guess I'll just tell him if he gets any holes in his sock that I'll mend them for him. I'm just a little concerned about it because it's just a really like luxurious, and it's merino and nylon. I'm not sure. You know how you can just tell sometimes? I'm knitting these with size 0 needles because that's how I knit my socks. I feel like a smaller gauge gives a better durability of the fabric you create. So I knit almost all of my socks on size US 0. And I just use the little 9-inch circulars for majority of the sock. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that as well. And the reason that I didn't, oh no, one more thing. So I have another pair of socks on the needles, but I'm not going to show you those because I think that I don't think I've done anything with those since I last did a regular episode. So there's really no point in me showing them to you at this point in the game. I do want to show this though. This is my Harlow worsted. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. And I'm to the point where I need to decrease. And because of that, I stopped. And I just got distracted. And I was like, I got to finish this Christmas socks. Like, I got other things to do. This is just something I was knitting for myself for the fun of it, to do a little bit of brioche. This is a brioche hat. And if you flip it, you can see that's the inside. I'm using Peace Fleece worsted. This is Mourning Dove, and this is Lauren's Coral. This color is discontinued. I'm pretty sure they still have this one on their website though. And I realized that I dropped a stitch with one of my colors, but I didn't realize it till I was up above. So I marked it with this little thing, and I'm just going to go back and mend it with the yarn afterwards. I was like, there's no way I'm going to try to figure out how to fix that in brioche. I've knit brioche multiple times, but I am not comfortable with fixing brioche. I'm not good at that at all. When I'm knitting brioche, I'm really careful so that that doesn't happen, but somehow that happened, and it's okay. Okay, now I want to talk about the thing that distracted me. All right, so this next project was a complete surprise cast on. I mean, I wasn't planning it. I guess I should say that. I wasn't planning on casting this on. I forget. I just did a vlog. Was it the beginning of last week? And I was inspired. Okay, yeah, this is how this rabbit hole started. We woke up to snow, which we have snow again today. But we woke up to snow, And then I was like, wow, I feel really Christmassy, even though it was before Thanksgiving still. And my daughter and I decorated the house, all except for the tree, because we always put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving. And I was just like feeling really festive, and I felt like I needed to cast on something Christmassy. And I've had this Quince & Co. chickadee yarn in my stash, and this is all I have left of it, because I'm going to show you why here in a minute. It's this beautiful deep red yarn, and this is called, oh, what is this color called? Hold on, I got to look at the, I have so many things. I don't even have, oh no. I don't even have it. I don't have the tag. The tag is over there. Hold on. I literally remembered the name as soon as I stood up. Wine sap. Oh, my hair is doing some crazy stuff today. Okay, Quince & Co. Chickadee Wine Sap. I've had this yarn for a very, very long time. Very long time. I don't even remember how long I've had this yarn, to put it into like a numerical value of years. That's how long I've had it. And I had 3 skeins of it, and it is, I think it's 180 some yards, 181 yards. Pretty sure it's considered sport weight, but I consider it more of a DK weight, in my opinion. But anyway, so on my little vlog I did last week, I was talking about this, and I was like, I need to find a scarf or a shawl that I can make, like a smaller shawl that I can use this yarn to make it with. And I ended up getting on Ravelry later on in the day, and I found what I thought was going to be a perfect, and it was. It's the one I ended up doing. It's called Piper's Journey. It's by Paula Emmons Fusel. Paula Emmons Fusel. I might be mispronouncing her name. So I knew nothing about Paula until I posted that vlog, and then viewers started telling me, oh yeah, Paula had the Knitting Pipeline podcast, and I don't know when that time, like the time frame for that would have been. I kind of remember hearing about the Knitting Pipeline, but I don't know that I was really watching knitting podcasts, or maybe I just wasn't. I don't know that I don't remember ever watching hers. Sadly, Paula had passed away at some point. I don't know what year she passed away, but she's passed away from ovarian cancer. But this pattern of hers is beautiful. And I think from what I was reading online, that at some point in time, they were donating all the money that they made from that pattern to ovarian cancer research. I don't think they're still doing that, but you can only buy this pattern on Quince & Co.'s website. It's usually a $5 pattern. You can find it on Ravelry, but then there's a link that takes you to Quince & Co. And it says it's a $5 pattern, but when you click through to Quince & Co., right now it's on sale for $3.50. So that was a nice surprise. I'm so enjoying this. I'm just enjoying it so much. So let me show you here. It's just making me so happy. And with the snow and all the Christmassy stuff, the red, oh my goodness. And I've wanted a red scarf or shawl, small shawl, for multiple years, because I want one to wear with my black wool peacoat. Oh, this is not going to do this justice. Okay, so basically, let me tell you a little bit about this shawl for those of you who aren't familiar with it. It is a crescent-shaped shawl, which happens to be my favorite. So this was checking all the boxes for me. It's a crescent-shaped shawl, and it is knit from the top down. Okay, so you just start up here, and here's my little wintry stitch marker. That was just marking the right side of my knitting. And you do the crescent, which is all just back and forth knitting because it's garter. Okay. And then after you get the crescent to the size you want, and I was basically just weighing my yarn as I went because I only had 3 balls. I think this scarf was actually, or this shawl was actually written for the chickadee yarn, and it said it used 3. But the pattern also said that I needed a little over 1/3 of the yarn for my applied border. So I was just kind of weighing my yarn as I went. And once I got to the point where I thought, okay, I need to stop on the shawl. I need to make it not, I don't want to make it any bigger because I'm afraid I might run out of yarn for my border. I stopped. And I did make the shawl probably 20 stitches to 20 to 30 stitches longer than what the pattern called for. But it doesn't matter because you can adjust the size because of the way the applied border is put on. And then once you knit the crescent shape of it, like your main body of the shawl, you go back, you leave all of your stitches on your needles, which is really cool because you don't have to pick up any stitches. So that's wonderful. So you leave all of your stitches on your cable and on your needles. And then you go back to the one end and you start applying the border, which is this really beautiful, simple lace border you can see here. And of course, this hasn't been blocked because I'm still in the process. There, that's a good, right there. Trying to grab it. Red's a hard color to show online, on camera. Yeah, so I am over halfway through. Yeah, I'm over halfway through. I'm going to have plenty of yarn. I feel like it's going to end up with just a little tiny bit left, which will be fine. I can use it in a colorwork project, a small colorwork project or something. But this is just bringing me so much joy. I am loving this. I don't wear red very often. I am wearing a red t-shirt today, but it's one of those colors that this time of year, especially, I think it's because it's such a festive color. In my mind, I think of Christmas when I think of red. And so it's just like perfect timing. And the fact that there's snow out, we've had snow twice in the last week, and I'm loving the pattern. Like, it's an enjoyable pattern. And I'm enjoying the yarn, and just, you know, I didn't know Paula, but from what I've heard from you guys who left comments and then what I read online, she was a very much well-loved figure in the knitting community. But look, it's so pretty. Simple pleasures, guys. Simple pleasures. Yes, loving this. So highly recommend this. All right. Now, what shall we talk about next? I've gone through all the projects that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So perhaps I should, let's go. Actually, I still have a work in progress that I want to share with you. And it kind of ties into my next segment of this video, which is talking about some Christmas knits. And then, so let's just do that. How about that? Susan B. Anderson came out with a ornament collection. I don't know, was it 2 weeks ago or so? I forget when it was. And when she first released it, she had it half off. So it was for $4. And it's called the Good Tidings Ornaments. Yeah. It's currently now back up to $8. I checked this morning before I started recording. But you get 6 different motifs to make little like Christmas balls. And the pattern uses fingering weight yarn. So I started one. And it's still on this barber cord because I'm not completely done yet, but I did just stuff it this morning, and I just stuffed it with a bunch of yarn scraps. So I'm sure that a lot of people do this, but I have a little clay jar, and when I get yarn scraps, I just like throw them in here. Sometimes you have just enough yarn left. Like it's more than just a little scrap, like a little tail, but it's not enough to do anything with. And I will just throw that in here as well. And then like this, I had to cut this off of something. And I thought, well, instead of unraveling that, I'm just going to stick it in this thing and I will use it to stuff something in the future. So I just stuffed this with that. But anyway, these are fingering weight. These ornaments call for fingering weight. And this is one of 6 motifs. This is the pine cone motif. It's a little lumpy bumpy. I did block it. I did knit these on double pointed needles, and so that was a little bit of an experience doing color work on double pointed needles. I didn't care for it, so I think the next ornament I do, I'm going to cast on, like use the double pointed for the cast on and the bind off, and then I'm going to switch over to my 9-inch circulars. I think I'll have enough. I think there's enough stitches there. I think there should be enough stitches. And that way I can have a smooth transition in my color work rather than having to work the tension over double pointed needles. I just don't care for that. So all I need to do, I blocked this yesterday. She said you could either block it flat or you could take a little balloon and stick it inside and blow up the balloon, which probably would have worked better, but I don't have any balloons. So I just blocked it flat. And it did the job, and it's really cute. But I have to go back, and I don't know exactly how yet, but I know that I'm pretty sure I'll pick up stitches here, maybe. I don't know. There's going to be a little cap, like when you have one of these round ornaments, you know how you have the little cap that the hook goes into? There's going to be a little knitted cap on this. So that's what I need to finish on this still. And so I don't have it done, but I thought I would show you guys what I have. And I'm going to my plan is, if I don't run out of time, to make some more of these. They're super cute. And the yarn I used was Knit Picks Pellet. I have a ton of this stuff, literally a whole basket full, because 2 years ago during one of Knit Picks' big sales, I bought a bunch of the pellet in different colors just to have to make stuff like this. So I used Oyster Heather as the main color, and then the contrast color is Forest Heather. And it hardly used any yarn. I mean, it hardly used any yarn. So this is fun, and this would be a nice little gift. So this next section is actually a lot of these patterns that I want to show you, and some of them I have already made, so I have them here on my lap. Others I haven't. I just have bookmarked to make in the future. But a lot of them would be great to give as little gifts or gift tie-ons when you were gifting something, if you wanted to tie something onto the package to make it extra special, and then they have that for their tree. That would always be a fun gift. I mean, I would love to receive that, even though I could knit it myself. So that's what I want to get into in this next section. That is, as far as the ornaments, I think that's the only one that is a paid for pattern. There are all the other ornament type things are free patterns that I'm going to talk about. And then I want to talk about a tree skirt and a couple stockings. Those are also paid for patterns. But as far as the ornaments, that was the only paid for pattern. All the other ones I'm going to talk about are free, which makes it even better. The first one I want to talk about, I know I've talked about this in years past on my podcast episodes, but it is the Bluebird of Happiness pattern. And it says that it uses worsted weight yarn, but I want you to know that that is extremely flexible, and the weight of yarn you use will dictate the size of your ornament, but it doesn't have to limit you. You can use any weight that you want. And I have, as an example, I have 2 Bluebirds of Happiness knit up in two different weights of yarn. So I have knit I actually knit this one, and then Annie of Knits and Burls podcast, she sent me this one last year we did a little Advent exchange. But let's talk about this one first. This is actually made out of some hand spun yarn. So the hand spun was, I would say, a worsted to Aran weight variation because it's hand spun, so it wasn't completely consistent throughout. And it's so cute and has a nice little lovely halo. This actually stays up. It hangs over there off of a shelf year round here in our house, and it makes me so happy when I look at it. And I stuffed it with some alpaca fiber because I have lots of alpaca fiber. For those of you who are new here, we used to have an alpaca farm. So I have lots of their fiber that I use for various things, and one of them is to stuff my stuffies. And yeah, so this is made in a worsted to Aran, and then Annie knit hers in a fingering weight yarn. So it is like this small, sweet little, keep spinning. It's so cute. So you can see the difference in size. This would be way better for a tie-on for a gift, but I mean, you can use any weight of yarn for this particular pattern. I have made a lot of these over the years, and I've given them as gifts. This is the only one that I made and kept. And then of course I have the one from Annie now, which is so sweet and special. Okay, the next ornament I want to talk about that I also have made is called it's just mitten ornaments. And I have 3 pairs, 3 here, 3 different ones. I've also made and given these as gifts. And the pattern says it's an Aran weight pattern. What I ended up doing is taking my, okay, with these 2. This one I had a DK weight yarn that I used, and then the white DK weight yarn. Okay, so you can see the size difference. No, you really can't see the size difference on camera. There is a size difference. These 2 are slightly bigger because what I did is I took this off-white yarn and I just held a fingering weight double with it, and I got this cool marled look. And then I did, and these are all I-cord. Is that an I-cord, or did I just braid that? No, I think that's an I-cord. Yeah, no, that's not braided. So I made little I-cord loops, and these hang on our Christmas tree. But again, I've made these as gifts, and wouldn't these make cute gift tie-ons? And they would lay flat against the package. Just so cute. They're so cute. I love them so much. So another close-up. Okay. Again, all these will be linked down below. All right. And then the next ornament is actually, oh, what is this called? Okay, this is a crochet pattern. This is called the this is called the Easy Granny Christmas Bauble. And I made 2 of these. I don't know if it was last year. I think it might have been the year before. So this is just basically like a granny stripe Christmas bauble. And what I ended up doing, I don't know if you can see through here. Hold on, this one you can see better. I bought foam balls, or I had foam balls. I don't even remember. Okay, there's foam balls under there. And I just crocheted this to fit around those foam balls. Because the reason I thought that would be better is because I wasn't sure about stuffing a granny stripe because I feel like the fiber would come out from between. As you can see, I mean, granny stripes are open. It's, you know, unless you did really, really tight fingering weight on a really small crochet hook. But like I said, just went to Walmart, or I may have had them in my craft stash somewhere, the little foam balls, and just crocheted up around those. And these are super cute as well. Now the next patterns I've never made. And I'm just going to go through them quickly. I'm not going to give a lot of details, but I'm just going to kind of flash the picture up here on the screen so you guys can see them, because they're just ones that caught my eye. But we have, let's see, the 2 strands Christmas ball, which is an Aran weight pattern, and it is Colorwork. I love those little Colorwork. It's like the Susan B. Anderson ornaments, but this one's a free pattern. So if you want to give it a try and see if you even like doing that, doing like a stranded work bauble, this would be a good one for that. So there's that one. And then I found this cute little mushroom. I love mushrooms. I found this cute little mushroom pattern, and it is a pattern by Drops. So I'll put that up there. I thought that would look really cute to make some of those. And let me see if there were any other ones that I wanted to talk about. No, I think that's it for the ornaments. Now, the next 3 patterns I want to talk about are actually paid for patterns, and they're going to be ones that are they're going to be more time consuming. But this first pattern is called the Merry and Bright Tree Skirt. I actually have this pattern, and I'm going to cast this on, but probably not this year. This is a pattern by Yellow Blue Design, and it's Colorwork, but I love Colorwork. So it's a lot. It looks like it's going to be a lot of work, but I really love Colorwork. So I feel like this is going to be a really enjoyable project for me to do. Now, the reason I'm not casting it on this year is because I just bought a tree collar for my tree. So normally I have this old skirt that my mother-in-law gave me that I would use. It wasn't really my style, but I was too cheap to buy a new one just for the sake of having a different one. But this is going to sound crazy, but we have 2 dogs, and one of them is a lab mix. She sheds like crazy. She has this black short hair, and she sheds crazy year round. Our house it's like dog fur. I can't even keep up on it. And one of the things that always drives me crazy, this is where you're going to see the weird side of me, is whenever around the tree skirt, Mitty's hair would just accumulate constantly. Like every day there would be these big globs of Mitty's black fur. And I was constantly having to pick it up, sweep it up, whatever. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a pain. So I bought this tree collar, and I think that that's going to help. And the reason why, for those of you who own pets, I think hair is just attracted to, it's like certain areas of your house has magnets on it to dog hair. Probably cat hair too. I don't have a cat in the house. And it was just always along the edge of that tree skirt, there was always black hair, and it looked disgusting. And so I ditched the tree skirt for now. But one day I'm going to have a tree skirt, or maybe if I don't have one, I will make this for one of my kids or something. But I really love the look of this. I love the look of this. And I actually really love the colors that she did her one sample in. They're not colors I would typically be drawn to for Christmas for myself, because they're pretty bright, and they're Christmassy colors, but not like your traditional Christmassy colors. But I feel like if I would want to make this just like she did, or close. Maybe not using the same yarn, maybe using like an acrylic yarn, but doing it in very similar colors. So I saw this tree skirt, and I added it to my favorites because I knew I was going to be talking about Christmas knits in one of my upcoming videos. And then Olya that's the designer name, she ended up actually sending me the pattern as a gift, which was so sweet. So thank you, Olya. But I want to be forthright with that. I do have the pattern. It was gifted to me, but I picked it because I genuinely love the look. I was already planning on purchasing it myself. She just, in her kindness, sent it to me. So now, matching the skirt, she also has a stocking that I also have in my favorites. And she did it in the same yarn as the tree skirt, which you wouldn't have to do that, but I really like it as well. So it's up here. The tree skirt was a $5 pattern, and the stocking is a $4 pattern, both by Yellow Blue Design. And then the last thing that I wanted to share is the Woodland Stockings. That is a pattern by Ellison Lutz. It is a $10 pattern, but you get a whole different array of motifs to put into your stocking. And it's like woodland critters. So super cute. I feel like if my kids were young, this would be really fun to make them each a different little woodland critter to have. So yeah, that's another pattern that I actually have had that in my favorites for a while too. I think when she first released it, which I don't remember when that was, but I'm pretty sure I added it to my favorites at that point. But if you're interested in any of these, I have them all linked down below. Plus, there's more in a bundle. So I will link the bundle, which has more than what I talked about here. There's way more on that bundle. And then I'll also link the individual patterns if you're interested in just one of them, because I know some of you are having problems with going through accessing bundles because you don't have a Ravelry account. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. I'm not sure how to remedy that, but I will link individually the ones I talked about on here. And then I'll also link the bundle, which will have those plus other ones that I found. And that's a variety of free and paid for. So just be aware of that. Okay. One other little thing. Oh no, I have a couple other things. Oh my goodness, I'm so chatty. I have so many things to talk about. Okay, so some of my, besides Piper's Journey shawl and making some more ornaments, I also wanted to share this beautiful yarn that I just bought for myself. This is going to be my Christmas sock cast on. It's KT and the Squid. This is called Christmas Cookie. It is merino and nylon, 75/25. She had on her Etsy page, she had like a sample. I love when dyers put a sample of what it looks like knit up. And it just reminded me of gingerbread, not like a gingerbread house. I think it's because it has the brown in it. But it reminded me of a gingerbread house, and I love gingerbread houses. And so I thought I want to get that to make a pair of socks, and it was on sale, so I got really lucky. So I'm going to wind this up. I realistically probably will not get these socks made during the month of December, but I will get them started at least, and we will see, because I know how fast December is going to fly by. And then this was a complete surprise. So I met my friend Jody last week. Jody, Flower Hill Fleeces. I talk about her all the time. I met her for coffee and just to talk some yarny knitting stuff and some other things. So we met at the coffee shop in town, and she brought me this sweet gift, which I'm not going to pull out and show because, well, maybe I could. Yeah, I could do a little disclaimer that I'm going to show it. So if you ordered this and you don't want to see it, then don't watch this part, okay? Come back in a little bit. So this is the Woolens and Nosh Advent, 2024 Advent. It's a sock, and it's a stripy sock Advent, which is what I need to do in the future because I cannot commit to a full Advent. I've talked about this before. They're just out of my comfort zone as far as my budget goes. And so I cannot commit to paying several $100s for a yarn Advent, which they're super fun to open. I had one, I've done swaps, and then last year Brazos Fiberwork sent me one as a gift, which was so sweet of her. And it was so fun to open, but I just can't. This year I thought about, I just have not been able to pull the trigger, but it's okay. But this would be a more affordable way to go for me. I think I would feel more comfortable doing this. And basically you're knitting a stripe a day or something like that. Anyway, I've never done this before, but I've seen other knitters do it. So I tried in early November, or maybe it was even mid-November. I was like, man, I wish I would have gotten an Advent thing or done a swap with somebody. So then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try to find a sock Advent, like a stripy sock Advent. I couldn't find any. They were already sold out because they're done as pre-orders, earlier in the year. But then Jody shows up with this, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so generous of you. Like, I was so excited. I'm still so excited. And so she's like, you can either do it as a surprise or you can look at it. And I'm like, I'm just going to look at it because I want to know, like, I want to see, I want to plan it. So this is where you need to look away if you don't want to see this, because I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show everyone else. So this comes in, you get this is the contrast color. If you want to use a contrast color, which I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do, see, I need to get on top of it because tomorrow's December 1st. I should have already had this wound up, and I should have already started I think I need to start on the toes. I've never done a toe up sock before, but if I want to get all the stripes in, I'm going to need to start in the toes. You know what I'm saying? Like if I start at the cuff, I'm not going to know at what point because I'm going to need to have a long enough foot. I need to start at the toe. I'm going to have to do a toe up sock. Okay, so I need to get this wound up and I need to get my toes cast on. And then it comes with 2 balls already done up. Oh, they look a little messy because I was pulling them out earlier and I should have fixed it. Amber! Okay, well, I'm sorry. Excuse the messiness of it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, it looks so messy. I feel horrible. It's like horrible advertisement. This isn't sponsored. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I should have been a little bit more careful with this. Okay, this is driving me crazy. Here. Okay. That's a little better, right? So I don't know if you pull from the inside. I think you probably pull from the inside. I need to look into that a little bit more. And then I guess there's 24 different stripes. I think that's how it works. Yeah, 24 colors separated by a thin stripe, the same color as your mini skein. So yes, I need to get this started with my toes so that I can get going on this. And that'll be fun. And that will definitely be doable as far as like an Advent project. Although I still want to cast on that Brioche Adventure by Jonathan Tallow, which I actually might do that. And then I found another pattern. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this one. I just bought it. It's by, it's a granny stripe shawl, and it is by Mourning of Crochet Objet Knitting. I'll link it down below. I bought that too because it was, first of all, I want to support her. And second of all, I really like granny stripes. I just want to knit everything and crochet everything. I just feel very inspired to do it, but I know realistically I'm not going to have time to do it. Okay. So that is that. And if I don't get that done, if I don't get those socks, the Woolens and Nosh sock back, like done, which it's safe to look now, I've put it away. It's okay because it's not actually like Christmassy. It more gives me the 80s vibes. That's the first thing I thought of when I pulled it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like so 80s, which is fun, you know, because I was born in the 70s. So like I spent a great portion of my childhood in the 80s. Yeah, so that's not like I have to do that at Christmas time. In fact, it might even be more fun to do it in January, like every day of January, because January and February can be kind of like blah months. So I don't know. We'll see what I get done. No pressure. I'm not pressuring myself. All right. Now I want to talk really quickly about the giveaway. So the last special episode I did, my Scrappy episode, I was doing a giveaway on there. And so I want to just announce the winner of that. And this winner was just chosen randomly using a comment picker that I always use when I pick my giveaway winners, my random giveaway winners. So I'm going to flash the episode or the comment up here that won, and that is Cindy Russell 9209. So Cindy, congratulations. You won an Advent pattern of your choice. Like you commented, I think about the November mitts and then something else. But if you've changed your mind or you have found a different Advent pattern that you would rather use, just let me know. If you could just email me at alovelyyarn@gmail.com, which is also linked or listed down below in the video description, and I will get you your Advent pattern sent out to you on Ravelry. So congratulations, and thank you for everyone who watched that episode and commented. I appreciated that. And I'm going to wrap this up now, but I just wanted to talk quickly about Vlogmas because that starts tomorrow, which is crazy. So I'm literally going to get this episode up. I'm planning on editing it today and putting it up right away. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of me because I'm going to put this up and then I'm going to start vlogging tomorrow. I'm really hoping that my phone and my editing software on my phone does not give me grief, because that vlog I did last week, the editing software was pretty glitchy and I was having a hard time. And then I was flashing back to last year and how it was doing the same thing last year. Usually, so I edit everything on my phone and I use free software. And it's pretty good software as far as functionality. But usually I'm just editing like videos like this. I've noticed it doesn't work as well when I'm trying to splice together a lot of segments of video that I've taken throughout the day. It starts to lag and then it glitches a lot and then it freezes and then I have to uninstall the app and reinstall it, and that just gets really frustrating. So I'm just going to roll with it and see what happens. I don't want to cause any unnecessary pressure or stress on myself. This is my last December with my middle son at home. He's getting married in March. So I don't want to turn into a monster because my editing software is not, you know, doing what it's supposed to do, or it's giving me a challenging time. But I do plan on vlogging every day. There may be some days that I won't post every day because we do have some things going on. For instance, the one weekend we have my husband's Christmas party on Friday night, and then my husband and I are actually staying down there because it's over an hour away. So we just got a hotel room. We're going to stay down there. And then the next day we are going to another Christmas party in the evening. So for an introverted person like me, it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm going to make the best of it. My husband's like, yes, Christmas parties. And I'm like, 2 Christmas parties? 2 big Christmas parties? Big, lots of people. I'm just going to pray that it's during a good time of my month and my hormones are stable. Because that affects it too. Real life here, people, real life. Anyway, but when we are away doing things like that, I'm not going to be like, oh, everybody, sorry, I got to disappear for an hour so I can put my video together and edit it and stuff. So I know you guys all understand. I'm just telling you kind of what I'm thinking so you know what to expect, because there have been years that I've literally posted every single day. And then last year was kind of a flop because I got sick. I don't know, a week and a half into it. I don't even remember. But so we're going to see. I don't want to stress myself out. I was feeling myself getting really stressed about it because I was just anticipating all the work and all the potential things that could give me a hard time, like my editing software. I don't want to do that. I want it to be about a joyful season. And I personally, we do festive, Christmassy things. We love to do that as a family. But we're really simple people too. Like there's going to be a lot of footage just shot from home here. Lily and I we have lots of plans to make things. We always do this time of year. Making ornaments, baking cookies, I don't know, crafting. We'll be going some places, but it's just going to be, as always, I just want to be true to myself. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy it. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I don't know. I always get to the end of a podcast and I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I know. I wanted to show you guys real quick. For those of you who, so I'm of the Christian faith, which I'm pretty open about. I know that's not for everybody, but I know some of you are as well. So I just wanted to show this book that I'm going to be using as my Advent devotional this year. And because for me, Advent isn't just about like Christmas Day gifts, all that, like all that fun stuff. It is. I like that stuff, but it's also about preparing my mind and my heart for the reason I personally celebrate Christmas, which is, the Christian faith recognizes Christmas. And I know there's all kinds of stuff behind this. So I don't want to get into the history and the historical stuff and like the accuracy of when Jesus Christ was born, because I know it wasn't even in December. Chances are it was during a different time of the year, but this is when at some point along the way, the Christian faith decided to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ on Christmas Day. And so that is also a very important part of this season for me and for my family. And I ask you to respect that, even if you don't believe that as well. But so this won't be for everyone, but for those of you who are also of the Christian faith, this is the book I got. It's called Emmanuel. It's by Ruth Chow Simons. I have several of her devotional books. She is a beautiful, she's an artist. She does watercolor painting, and this has devotionals that she has written as well. This is my first time using this particular devotion. I did a different one last year from Daily Grace Company, but I'm looking forward to doing this. I always like to have something to keep me focused on my faith during this season. So I just purchased this off of Amazon, but I'm sure you can get it at like other places as well. I'll link it down below, but it's a 25-day Advent devotional that I'm going to be starting tomorrow. So, and speaking of tomorrow, so December 1st, it is a Sunday this year. And so we will be getting up and heading off to church. And then we will be going directly from church to my in-laws to celebrate Thanksgiving with them, because we did not celebrate Thanksgiving with them this past Thursday, which was when the American Thanksgiving was. So we will be doing that. Because of that, and because I don't want to be, I'm not going to be home much, and I don't want to be tied to my phone while we are with family. I already filmed some footage of us yesterday, which I'm going to throw in with that. So I'm going to have Vlogmas footage of tomorrow that's going to include actual things that happened on December 1st, but then there's also going to be footage from November 29th, which was yesterday, which was when we decorated the tree. We played games. We just had a big family day. We painted in the evening, which I'm going to show you my painting here. I did a little Christmas house. Oh my gosh, I would love to live there. It looks so warm. Anyway, so we all painted something. I mean, I'm the only one that painted like this. Everyone else did landscapes. But I'm going to include that footage from yesterday in tomorrow's Vlogmas episode. That way I don't feel like I'm having the camera in everyone's face at church and at our family dinner tomorrow. I always try to be respectful of filming other people without asking them. And sometimes sometimes people just don't want to be on, filmed. So it's fine. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful December. For those of you who want to see what our family is up to, please consider tuning in as often as you can. I know every day is a lot, especially when there's a lot of really wonderful Vlogmases out there to watch. I'm looking forward to it. And I think, I don't even know who all is vlogging this year, but I'm pretty sure Yana of Finished Knitting Stories, she's my favorite. She's one of my favorites. I watch her. And I watch Laura of Penrose Knits, and I watch other ones as well. But those are the two that are popping into my head, and I'm pretty sure both of them are filming Vlogmas this year. So let me know your favorites if you have any favorites down below, because I don't know that I don't know that I'll watch all of them, because you only have so many minutes in your day. But I'm always curious to hear about what other people are watching. All right, guys. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you so, 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 so much. You don't even know. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your knitting and enjoy this festive season that we're heading into. And I'll see you real soon.